Well, hello. As we sitting here at LTV on this beautiful, beautiful afternoon, I would say late afternoon, early evening on Friday, October 4th, year 2024, here with the Hello Hello Show. And my name is Haim Mizrahi, continuing with the tradition of public access. And just want to do that. Mm, sorry. Okay, that's good. Continuing with the tradition of public access and the tradition of the Hello Hello Show that's been on the air since 1980. Of course, not to fail to mention the contribution by Fraser Dougherty, Francis Ann, and then, of course, the likes of you out there to make it your business to enhance and fortify this concept called public access, and rightfully so, because we are finding ourselves embedded within the concept that takes us to heights that are envied by others, and rightfully so, envied by those who are kind of finding themselves in an up to no good path in their lives, even though they might be good people and they mean well and they mean good, but then they find themselves in trouble because the fabric of which that which wraps the idea and bring it closer to your chest, closer to the center of your feelings and the gatherings of your unique thoughts and how they're going to end up being materialized into a I would say a configuration that tells you a story that's actually nothing less than the truth behind your journey. And you suddenly realize that you find out as if someone used the artificial intelligence in order to do your homework for you and send it to you as a gesture of gratification and thanks for your aura, for your presence, for your contribution, for your investment of time, for your goodwill, for your good nature, for your values, for your for so much that I can continue. Isn't it? Doesn't it feel good when you can continue and kind of build up the concept that kind of is almost common practice in your mind, but still very elusive, and you don't want to spend that much time trying to kind of gather the pieces every time there's a disbursement of particles, and these particles happen to be the ingredients that gather your truth and gathers the solid meaning behind the truth of your journey. I mean, especially if you're the one who invests the time and put that goodwill in place, it's not easy. It cannot be taken lightly, and it's actually a let's see. Yeah. So it adds the meaning. It adds meaning to the meaning. It adds the meaning to meaning that is just like adamant and almost like self-sufficient. Doesn't feel like it needs to. It doesn't feel like it needs to. Wait, let me see. Yeah, that's better. It doesn't feel like it needs to be constantly deciphered and therefore addressed and therefore mentioned and therefore being made evident and available too available. I don't know, it doesn't work so much, especially when it comes to um, uh, taking ourselves from where we are, from when we know that level, that stage, that point. And I won't even use the word elevate. I don't even understand why. And actually, I understand that my friend Esly is entering here incognito.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you, thank you. It's so good to see you.
How you doing?
It was me that said, "Hey," and you look for
Oh,
the
that was
voice.
you? Okay, okay. Yeah, I was trying to get a
So
little
I was trying to
motivation.
behave like a kid. I said,
Yeah, yeah.
"Okay,
And
what
I
the
was
heck?"
like, who was that?
This is Esly, a very unique, important particle in the complex machine called LTV. I hate to say, yeah. Is that going to work now? Is it working now?
Is that for? Do I need this?
No, you don't need this.
No.
But
Okay, never mind.
but see
I
see if
thought.
you hear the.
Okay.
I'm actually curious if it's no. This is.
Yes, we hear it.
I hear you, but do you hear me
Yeah.
in your in
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what happens.
What happens?
Uh, why don't you take this and give me yours?
Sure.
I don't know what it means, but for whatever it means, let's see. Oh boy. Hello, hello. Yeah. Okay. Now you'll hear yourself.
Do we need them?
No, we don't need them.
No.
But,
Okay.
but it looks like
I
we
don't
do.
know that we're here, so I
Yeah.
thought.
It's don't breathe. Right before you came, I was talking about finding out that which we already know about ourselves. You know where we are, what stage, and try not to use the word elevate, but still to find an alternative word that will describe elevation, but it won't be as evident as elevation is. You know.
Okay.
Like stepping, I don't know, using the word forward, using the word maybe digging in deeper, and catching a larger chunk from that which we benefit from. You know that suddenly the results are not so elusive. So when we work in the studio, when we are creative, then
I hear you better.
yeah, that's I know. I'm just kind of hearing myself, and I'm saying, so so there is a so we get to benefit from our trial and experience and engagement in a much greater fashion than usually we would, enhancing the guaranteed positive result of it all. It's not going to be just like touch and go. It could be more significant, you know. So when we lose the concept of the obviousness of elevation, we elevate, we go up, you know, and we get so accustomed to it until we don't really understand what it means to find ourselves in the process of elevation, but rather, you know, it's trying to stay as long as possible in the here and now and still achieve progress. Was just contemplating, so I'm mentioning it because I know you can relate to what I'm saying. So, how you doing? How are you?
I mean, a little bit. Sometimes I get lost with your big.
The trying to catch up with you. You know,
I
like
know.
you're busy, you're creative, you paint, you produce
Yes.
here, you help, you tell us a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So
Don't mind if I eat my cookie, yeah?
No, not at all. Okay. So I help here at LTV. I hold a part time, and I help as much as I can with whatever I can. We do. I help a lot with the shows, with the community talk shows. I do directing and live editing for those shows, along with Jody and Zach. And um, I also help on Studio Three. Whenever there's shows, cabaret shows or rock and roll, bands that come in. And then I do national broadcasting now, which I work with Chris Cuomo. Um, I pretty much I handle his studio along with Nick, my coworker, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. And right now I'm working on a lot of that's what I do as far as work. Now as
Yeah.
far as what I do, I I've been doing a lot of digital art. I've shown you. Um, have turned some digital drawings into sculptures. Um, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm actually, something that I'm starting to work on right now is my next trip to Guatemala.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start collecting materials.
Yeah.
And any help.
Of course. Of course, by all means.
And thank you. Yeah, you
And
always.
I hope you don't take it for granted these journeys of yours and going back and forth and bringing some joy and ray of light and hope in the hearts of these kids. It's like immeasurable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm
you know.
definitely don't take it for granted.
Yeah, and then
I'm grateful for that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
grateful to be able to do that.
and
You know,
I think that what you're doing is so significantly positive,
thank you, thank
and I hope you give yourself credit for that because
you,
it's real.
thank you.
Couldn't
Yeah,
can't get more real than that,
yeah,
when you
yeah.
go in all this. I used to do it also a little bit, I was kind of with my frequent visits away from here
Mhm,
every summer. I mean, every winter, or this
mhm,
that I things that I cannot allow myself anymore because I got my the family and whatnot.
mhm,
But I miss it. I learned from missing it.
mhm, mhm.
By the time I miss it, I actually have to go through everything that took place, all the wonderful things, in order to miss it.
Well, maybe we can
And then no,
restart it.
no, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. No,
it's
I get it.
almost
Yeah,
like I'm reminding myself of the benefits of
yeah.
the good times of the contributions, but it really
Correct,
translated itself on the surface,
correct.
and how you see, like you were telling me, kids are progressing, and I stayed there for 8 to 10, sometimes 12 weeks,
Wow,
and it
wow.
was just concerts and all these
Mhm,
things, places that are very affordable. They work with you.
mhm.
The city of Jerusalem, the city of Tel Aviv. City of Tel Aviv gave me 40,000 square feet for
Wow,
1 month for $1,000.
wow,
I mean, can you imagine?
wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And then they're like portable walls. You can create your own configuration, like a maze, and huge space and all this.
Wow,
Um, the city of Jerusalem will allow you to record for $5 an hour. You know
wow.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so there's an underground room of recording. There's the large space is stage is $50 an hour, and
Mm-hmm,
that's the heavy duty. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So you can do stuff.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You can
mm-hmm.
get on
That's
the
beautiful.
stage and do nothing and
Mm-hmm,
do everything.
mm-hmm,
Be ridiculous, be smart, be
mm-hmm,
stupid, whatever.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It will. They don't care. They just care about doing what you need for them to do for you.
Of course.
And the city is mindful of it, and the city is not giving a lot, but giving enough
Mm-hmm.
to. It's something that I cannot even explain to people, because here you go and you need like $350 an hour. In addition to this and that, sometimes it's $500 an hour.
Yeah.
And before you know it, it's a 2 day of 5,000. That's $10,000. I mean,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
so
Yeah.
you don't want to go there. You don't see yourself. So you don't certain
Yeah.
things you don't try because it's just a waste for you. It's a waste of energy because
Correct.
no one is going to really allow you to do that. But we are doing things that we don't depend on anyone for that to happen other than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
That is correct.
You have to take yourself from here to there
To there, yeah.
and make yourself there. Do the things that you're meant to do. That.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's no room for moodiness.
Can afford it. I mean, you know what? I before I didn't understand, like, how fast life goes, and now I do. So now it's like I have no time for moodiness. I have, it's only positive.
You look
You
like a
have to
baby,
stay
but you
positive.
but you're not.
Thank you.
You have a
No,
baby face.
no,
You know.
no, 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 no.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to stay young,
Yeah. So, how is it affecting your art though? Because your art, I realized that from the first moment that I saw your art, that is, you know, the canvas cannot escape you.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? Like you
mhm,
catch the canvas and you make it known to the canvas that it's got nowhere to go.
mhm,
It's got to stay put.
mhm.
And I say that because a lot of artists really think that the canvas is tricky, the canvas is elusive, the canvas is, you know, manipulative, and so much more. And and even if it's true or not, it doesn't matter. They find themselves busy thinking about what it all means, and then
Yeah.
finding out that in the meanwhile they don't paint anything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no. I
But
mean,
it's a familiar scenario, no?
no,
Like,
no.
oops, I don't haven't been painting.
Yeah,
I
well, for me, I haven't been painting right now
I know
because
that you
because
do.
of
Don't
the
I didn't mean
studio.
that to say
Because of
that
the
you
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
of course you do.
but I feel like I'm always doing something. If it's not painting, I'm on my tablet, creating something. I have a whole bunch of pieces, digital pieces that I've created while I've been here, you know. And actually, right now, I think I mentioned to you that I'm looking for a space.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a studio right now. So
Yeah.
if you know anything,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Um, yeah, because I just need to I need personally I need to spend this winter painting, you know, so I can have a nice library of work by the spring.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm don't pay attention to me.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
are you aware
Mhm.
of your influence on the canvas and how it affects the result, i.e., the paintings?
Of course.
Yes, that means you can show chaos, but with a lot of control.
Yes,
So
yes.
how do we get there, really?
The only way you can get there is by painting, 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 painting,
Excellent
and
answer.
painting and painting and painting.
I
I
love it.
mean, you know, I spent 10 years painting. And when I say painting, there was nothing else in the world that mattered to me but painting. So it got to that point, that all that time that I spent, now I can take an hour and create something because of all the time that I spent painting.
Hmm.
I want time, you know. So I know last time you said if you don't paint, it's gonna punish you. You know, um, you know. I guess at one point I was thinking about that, but then I actually I made something a few months back, and I was like, no, I still got it.
Yeah,
you know,
you're not going to lose it.
no, no.
It's just that you cannot
Yeah,
go back and say I'm going
yeah,
to create all the things that I was supposed to create,
yeah,
and then what I'm supposed to create now, and then you cannot. It's it's unforgiving. You cannot catch up.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
need to kind of
yeah.
cut your losses and
No,
say,
you're
okay, now
right.
I'm starting fresh.
You're right. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but still, it will linger. To me, it happened. It didn't go away. It stayed in the back of my mind, telling me. When I started in '97, I was 38,
Hmm.
and I immediately thought, did I really have to wait so long?
Yeah, yeah.
Then I started wondering. A minute before that, there was no wondering at all because I didn't even know it.
No, yeah,
Painter? Who's painter? I'm not a
yeah.
painter. How
The
come?
same with me. I mean, I didn't know anything
Music,
about
this
it.
poetry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and it didn't go away. Like
yeah.
now and then it comes. So now I really seriously train myself to really put it behind.
Hmm.
So it won't have access to come and nudge me. Enough is enough.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a great loss. 38. That means maybe 15 years you
15
lost.
years. Yeah, yeah,
23 is a classic age.
yeah,
Not to start, to finally realize who you are,
yeah,
painterly wise.
yeah. I mean, it took me time as well.
What age
You
did you
know,
start?
25.
Perfect.
Yeah, you know, but I just fell in love with it, you know, um, and I just couldn't get enough. And it just, I got wrapped around it, and next thing you know, I'm in my studio with like almost like 70 pieces.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this?
Well,
Yeah,
dance
yeah,
around it and be
yeah.
happy.
Well,
Count your blessings
no, so now, it's like, okay, I mean, selling your art is an art form as well.
in itself. Yeah.
Of course.
Hmm.
So, okay, so now it's like, okay, I created all this. I mean,
It's got to go
it's
somewhere.
got to go somewhere. So, once I started doing my shows, I mean, on my first show at the Remsenberg Academy, and I sold my first piece, nice size piece. That was it. I was like, okay,
Okay. I
I
mean,
mean, I didn't have 60, I had 59,
no,
but
no.
you know,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
And
from
what did?
there, it went on. My work is in the parish collection.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
That's good. That's
it's a
perfect.
beautiful ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, you remind me of when I faced that kind of uncertainty. Well, I'm creating this, then now what, and all this. I I realized that the most common thing with artists about showing galleries, shows, exhibitions is that they really don't have the work.
Hmm.
You can offer to many. I can, as a curator, understand it because now I offer. I come to artists and I say, hey, listen, I need. You want to show
Hmm.
this? I
Hmm.
need like 10 pieces.
Hmm.
Four
They
large,
don't have it. Yeah.
four medium for the. And then wait, where are you going? What do you mean four large, four 10, for this, for that?
Yeah.
They don't have. It's always the condition is, well, I have this show, I have to submit 2 pieces, and then I would have nothing left.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot relate to this. You say,
No.
what?
Well,
What are
yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I was then starting, I said, well, at least I know I'm strong enough and powerful enough to create volume,
Yeah.
even if it's volume of
You have to.
crappy
You
things.
have to. Yeah.
It Quality did not count
Yeah.
because I didn't even understand how to understand what quality is, to
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to just do this, do that, and I will create 20, and then another 15, and another 10, and then when the time will come, if someone says, "Do you?" Of course I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
they won't even finish the sentence, and
Correct.
a few sentences before you leave us. Let's
Oh, well,
summarize.
thank you, thank you. I'm always grateful to be here,
Yeah, of
Haim.
course.
I'm just like you said, before. I'm grateful to work, to do the things that I love, to paint, to make music. I'm grateful for working with Chris Cuomo right now.
Yeah, great.
I'm grateful for the kids that I go and I give classes in Guatemala. It's
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
yeah,
And by the way,
man.
say hi to Chris. I met him in a wedding, and I spoke to him a few times,
Yeah.
invited him to the show.
All right.
Tell him that the paintings he has in his room are mine. So
Oh yeah.
all this, of course,
Okay.
all these large canvases and
Uh-huh.
in the hallway and all this. But say hi.
Oh, and yeah.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think he knows. I mean, we spoke. He knows.
Yeah.
If you say hi, Mizrahi, maybe he will
Yeah.
remember.
I
But
will.
good for you, and
Thank you.
thank you. And until next time, don't be a stranger. Much love. Thank you so much. You're the man. You're the man. Thank you, Esly. All the best.
Thank you, hon.
So yeah, the extension of this wonderful interaction. Esli is a really, really, really wonderful individual, super talented, meaningful artist. So I really realize, as a whole, that there is a how some people they carry a certain type of energy, and it's like a um, always have to do something. Okay, so let me see because I have a plan here, and let's see if I can make it work. So 37 will be 55, so it's 50, 32. I'll yes, that's what I want to do, and let's see if I will be successful. Uh, let's see. Let's see if my dear friend, Steve Rum is available. We'll surprise him with providing him the stage. And uh, well, watch your language because you're on the air. So
Hello to the world.
hello to. Well,
Hello to all 6 people listening in.
that's how Steve Rum sound when he wakes up in the morning because it's 6 o'clock in the evening, but he's still sleeping.
Well, this is as close as you get to my waking up.
Yes, I do. Oh.
6 o'clock is 6 o'clock, whether it's the morning or night, it's the same thing.
Yeah, morning, exactly. When we don't know the difference, it's a bliss,
Except that it's darker out. Although when we change time, it's going to be dark. No, it's going to be darker. It's going to be darker in the afternoon, lighter in the morning. So maybe we'll actually be able to do the show at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, here you go.
Because we'll think it's really, we go back, whatever. How are you, Mr. Mizrahi?
Yeah, good. I was thinking of you, how you If you don't have
How
if
much you dislike me.
no, if you don't have problems, you invent some. You know,
Well,
you
you know,
have
you
to
get
have a problem in your life. That's a must.
that
Correct me
is
if I'm wrong.
it's a necessity. When you reach a certain age, if you're not ill, you have to pretend you're ill because everybody expects that. So you develop all these neuroses and psychoses. Whether you have them or not is irrelevant.
Oh my God.
And you see doctors, whether you have to see them or not, you make appointments, you go see them. I'm just preparing you for when you get older.
Well, I mean, do you, when you have tips, do you charge the doctors for your tips?
The doctors are happy to see me.
Because it spells income.
It gives them a huge increase in their yearly salary.
Revenues, yeah.
Because they know I'm coming back right away.
Oh my God.
That's the first thing. You know, first thing they now all know me, so they say, "Okay, schedule your follow-up appointment immediately."
Before you tell us about the occurring problem, but
and then I always say to them, "You haven't had anything wrong. There has to be something wrong."
well, they know that's exactly, you took it out the words out of my mouth. They already know that no matter what, experience tells them that no matter what, they come up with something.
Right. And if it's not there, they pretend it's
no,
there.
no. The reality supports their findings. No, this was like, oh boy.
It's the quality of testing that's done out here.
Yeah.
You can find any disease you want. Anything. Anything.
Yeah.
Bubonic plague. Oh, he definitely has a bubonic plague. They did a blood test. It went to Southampton Hospital Laboratory.
So
they can find bubonic plague.
What kind of a medical mix you take in order not to scare people when you go there? Because it can't just be normal and simple when you enter a place.
Well, I'll tell you, and you should know this as an artist. You can actually drink your acrylic paints.
I actually tasted it now and then. When I felt that the end is near, I said, might as well test the acrylic.
The red is particularly delicious.
Yes. So yeah, I think that when you intimidate people, it actually it actually improves your longevity.
I totally agree. Oh, within that concept, I got a spam phone call this morning, and I don't know what they were selling. It was irrelevant. I could barely understand the woman.
They were selling your paintings.
She's selling my paintings to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what she was selling, but I discovered a new voice that came out. And then she eventually hung up, and I know that I'll never hear from that company again.
Yes.
So it's better than just blocking the call, because all these people have multiple numbers, and they use local numbers. They've gotten very clever.
It's so, and the 917 lately you get.
Yeah, you get 917, and you get New York City numbers, but after they speak to me for a short period of time, they put me on a list that probably
do not call.
Like psychotic, lunatic, don't call.
Yeah, they start by saying, don't say we didn't warn you.
Don't ever call this person again. A waste of our time.
Yes. But in case you failed and you did, here's a number to call for treatment.
Trust me, somebody that calls here to sell anything, solar energy, they know better than to call here.
Oh, yeah.
The last person that called said
he was paralyzed by the time you were done with him.
Well, I just said to the guy, I let the guy talk, and I said, why? And I'm being polite because we're on radio, so I'm not going to say what I said.
TV, not radio.
TV.
Okay.
TV.
Yeah.
Well, I'm old. Radio,
yes.
Marconi.
Yeah.
You're telling me they have pictures on the thing now?
Yeah, I think that I'm quickly but surely becoming like this guy, Joe, the host, Joe.
Joe Franklin.
I'm actually reading a book now.
You should read about Joe Franklin, because if you were only like Joe Franklin, you'd be asking me a question and reading a novel at the same time.
And then, yeah, but so wait a second. So half of the time when people think that you have no control over what's really happening with you, you're actually in have much more command on the situation that people ever imagined you to have.
Oh, absolutely. So this
I
person
just
calls up to sell me solar panels, and I let him go on for, he did his whole speech, and then I said, "What the blank would I need solar panels for?"
yeah,
And
well,
he said because you save money on your electricity. I said, "Not in my case." And he said, "Why?" I said, "I live in a blank cave."
yes, yes. Oh boy.
And why the blank would I need solar panels? Because everything I have is dark unless I light it, and I live inside this cave, and I really don't need your blank solar panels.
Yeah, I know.
Never heard from them again.
Yeah, never. And they actually hung up before you even realized that you need
Yeah,
to. But
and when you call them back, you either get a busy signal or the number's disconnected because you know it's spam. Your phone says it's spam. But I just get a certain amount of pleasure out of listening to them and then making sure they never ever call me back.
so you actually I can classify you as the most successful individual in managing to conceal his wealth the way you do and still get away with it, even if there's any doubt in the heart of people about whether you're rich or not. Still, nevertheless, there will be like
Look, everything is an illusion, you know.
Okay, so but why do you deprive yourself from taking good care of yourself and spoiling yourself? Huh? Tell me. That's what I want to know. I thought that by now you'll come clean.
Not going to happen. I mean,
Listen.
You're asking questions like a telemarketer.
Listen, when I met you, you were a different actual millionaire.
Hey,
Don't tell
we
me you
all had
weren't.
good times. We all have fond memories.
Yeah, fond memories. I remember that, man.
Living in the Hamptons and just trying to buy anything. It literally takes people south of the highway who have billions of dollars to shop.
Yeah,
I just heard that King Cullen may be closing. That would really be great.
King Cullen?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's true or not. I have not researched it yet. But if King Cullen closes, that leaves us with Stop and Shop, which is hardly a real supermarket. It's a pretend supermarket. And
I prefer Stop and Shop than King Kong.
I prefer Stop and Shop also because of the prices. But the problem is, like Kmart closing, it now gives all the hardware stores the opportunity to raise their prices.
Kmart was a losing proposition since the COVID. It was like nothing.
Well, it needs to go back to Caldor. Caldor was great.
Oh yeah, Caldor. I swear by Caldor. 1983 when I arrived here, I used to spend all afternoons there.
You could all your extra money and then some.
And then
some.
Caldor. Yes, definitely.
So, but you did get things out of Caldor. People bought towels that just never wear out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. And working boots.
Boots, gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, they had everything.
Yes.
And it's too bad they went out of business. That was a great store. And Kmart's never been great. It's never had a great selection.
Well, it had the years of glory. It enjoyed many years of glory. But listen, they don't try hard. They don't seem to care.
No, they make no effort. Nobody works on the floor.
Yeah, and those who own it and the costume, they're already millionaires 10 times over. What do they care?
From what I heard is whoever the sons are that inherit the business don't want to be in that business, including the same people with King Cullen. The seniors have retired, turned it over to their kids, and the kids don't want to be tied down to watching how a supermarket functions. They don't have anything to do with it. So they'd rather just close it, walk away, and that's it. They don't.
Yeah, they have other businesses. We shouldn't worry about them.
A lot of businesses have gone out.
No. King Kong, those who own King Kong, and they you think that I won't worry about them anyway. The point is, let's stick with the familiar feelings of poverty that are familiar to us. Let's stay within the realm of the neediness that is surrounding our lives, and then find the wealth of it all exploding in your studio when you most need it.
Well, I'll tell you, just a couple of days ago when I was really feeling depressed and anxious and really down, I just went into the studio and I started painting. And hours later, came out feeling a lot better. And it's the for you, for me, and for other artists who really know their art and their trade. There's something about the magic of actually painting or sculpting where it just calms you down, and your creativity takes over everything else, and you feel like a different person afterwards. So, um, I'm trying to get this painting finished. I think by the end of this coming week, I'll have it done, and I'm really happy with what's happening. So, it feels good.
Yeah. But listen, what you just described now is really is information that is obvious within us. We understand that which we feel very, very clearly and very solidly, and 90% of it we at where we are at. And I remember from the first day I met you, and when I met you 25 or some years ago, when you were like in your in your mid 50s or something like that.
30s.
30s, yeah. Okay, sorry.
We can all agree.
Yeah, I know. And then it was evident that energy was evident. Of course, I'm not sitting here and blaming you for what Mother Nature is doing to you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But still, even though you can do many, many things wrong, I mean, creatively speaking and artistically speaking, but still not fail when you find yourself in the moment of truth. You cannot fail. Your body, your breathing, your everything that's about you, all about you, is guaranteeing you success no matter what. Every time you choose to engage, correct or no?
It's correct, but I don't want to point it out as an ego thing because it's not an ego thing, and it's just really interesting how things develop. I mean, I'm looking at the abstract that I had done that you've seen, that's in the living room, and I'm looking at it. And when I started the new painting, I hadn't looked at this painting, and I didn't realize that this painting is divided into two sections, and the new painting is divided into two sections. So they really do work together. And it's really interesting. And I know you have the same feeling. As I'm painting, it's interesting to see how things just happen. You put a line in and you go, it's like I have a chair, I sit back and I look at the painting and I go, wow, that really does belong there. That's the right color. And how your brain comes up with that, how you process it, has always been a mystery to me because there's just something that happens, and it's always happened to me as far back as I can remember, whether it was sculpting or painting or whatever it is. You just sort of intuitively know what color, what line, what brushstroke belongs where.
Yeah, but
And
in your case, you're too old fashioned. I'm not that I'm belittling you by saying that. I'm just describing accurately how I feel. You're too old fashioned, and also overdoing your kind of going out of your skin in order to make a point and to explain even more so, even more so, even more so. And this is a result. No, I'm not talking about anything bad now. I'm just saying that you're suppressing the reservoir of modernism that you have in abundance, indirectly suppressing it. Well, let me just finish the thought. Indirectly suppressing the modernistic aspect of technique, of understanding of composition and placement and so more and so forth, whatever. Uh, and then I think that you're putting it on hold for just a little too long than you need to. That's my point. So
I would disagree only in the sense. Look, I see some stuff that's being done today with all different kinds of with all different methods of doing imagery. Okay, not is it dated to just use paint and a canvas? Yeah. Is there stuff that's available today that's totally different? I've seen some stuff that I'm absolutely astounded at, and I love, and it's just not me. I'm not going to be 25 years old working with computers and electronics and all kinds of stuff, creating art that I think is spectacular. I think that the creativity that's going into it is great, but that's not me. And I know that uh, from from the school that I went to BU, there were teachers there that I thought had the ability to paint and draw in an incredible way, comparable to Renaissance artists. However, their their time, they had to go back a long ways for their artwork to be appreciated in the right period of time. Am I painting out of date? Yeah, but it's what I do best. I'm not going to be an electronic wizard doing what people in their 20s and 30s are doing with lasers and all kinds of stuff. It's spectacular, but it's not
yeah,
me.
but the thing is, look, I'm not necessarily talking about something that you need to borrow from uh, from another medium or another level that is not familiar to you, and to significantly change your life and approach and opinion in order to find yourself where I think I pointed out. It's it's almost just as much as you're not aware that you're suppressing your modernistic uh, um, um, aspect of your creative process. You also not aware of how little it's going to contribute to your artistic life, but yet for some reason it will turn it to be so much more significantly meaningful. So but you know what I mean. So because it's there on hold for too long, you tend to forget about your available assets. You know what I mean?
The painting that I'm working on now is the companion to the painting that I did. It is the last abstract that I'm doing in this context. It's structured, it's organized, and it works. It's a really good painting. However, the next painting, which I'm already thinking about, is going to be non-structured, non-organized, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. It could be a great painting, it could be a disaster, but there is none of the predetermined or thought pattern that goes into the structure that's gone into these two abstracts. It's going to be the best way I could describe it is closing my eyes, taking the brush and or not the brush and something else, and seeing what happens without making sure that everything lines up right and everything is in the right place and the right colors he used. I have no idea what's going to happen, but it's going to be fun.
Good. I have no problems with what you said. I mean, I can relate to. I accept it. I agree in all of the above. But let me give you an analogy. It's almost like that there's a door that always kind of opens and closes,
Right.
and makes a sound because some window is open and it's causing it to kind of close, but it's hitting the frame, but it doesn't close, so therefore it remains open, and it makes that startling sound. So you get up and you take a towel and you put it on the corner of hanging it on the door. So you'll say, let it bump into the door frame. I will never hear it. Correct?
Right.
Then you realize that that's not the case. It's creating a new kind of a thump that's still as annoying as ever. Okay? But you never think.
I lost you there.
Yeah, I said, so that means even with the towel, even the muffled sound doesn't take away from the intimidation of that sound. You know what I mean? But you never
Right.
think to immediately saying, well, either I keep it open and put something to block the stupid door from, clashing with the door frame, or I close it, make sure it's locked. So what happens is with you, that door is open and closed and making that sound and all this strictly 100% to remind you to get your attention, to get your attention, but really to get your attention. Say, Steve, come on, do the right thing.
Well,
And
I'm
it
looking
will
at
never, but it will never spell what it means. It's not like it's going to describe to you exactly. So therefore, what does it mean? What do you want from me? You will never hear that, which is just about time, man. And then you would instantly and instinctively understand what message it sends, what it's all about. Now, your capability warrants more and faster and more meaningful results even if you spend an hour a day or an hour every other day. But
well,
because, yeah,
I'm looking at three paintings in my living room, and if I was a bystander, not me, and I looked at three paintings, I'd say there are definitely three artists that did these because there's no correlation, none whatsoever, between painting A, B, and C. They are distinctly different. They come from three different artists. That's always been my strength. And then I look at it. Oh, pardon me. I'm looking at a fourth painting that looks like it came from a fourth artist, two of them. So I think that what's always been important to me is that change and progress is always important, and making sure that whatever the style is that I'm doing, that it works. And then you stop and you move on to something else because, I know too many people who keep doing the same thing. You've changed. If you were doing the same thing you did years ago, how boring that would be both for you and the viewer.
yeah, without a doubt.
You've got to change.
Yes, and the good thing about you and I is that we don't do it for the crowds. I mean, yes, of course, we like
I do
people.
it for me.
Even though there's room for us to consider the potential viewer and to make sure that we want to make him or her feel good about themselves and feel good about this encounter, and we have the control to make it so that it will appeal to people and to their demeanor and psyche, and that they will maybe even, like, sometimes people watch me on this show and they say, you said something the other day, and I said, yes, yes, of course, of course. There was this woman that approached me. She said, I listened to you, and now I really want to start painting. I did it in the past, this,
Right.
that, but I really realized and I really got to the bottom of what you were saying. And I said, but of course, but of course. And I said, thank you, thank you. She says, thank you. You really, really got that through my mind and made me take consider seriously that I should definitely do that which you just suggested. There, you yourself and you sitting there and doing your stuff. So
For
yes,
me, Haim, when I paint for myself, but there is a part of me that if I'm showing, if a gallery was around and I started selling something, there's certainly the motivation to keep painting whatever is selling for as long as it sells. And while it satisfies my need to do that kind of imagery, it also satisfies the need to raise money by selling your artwork. Now, because there's just no way to sell anything, I just paint for me, and I really don't care if anybody sees it or not. It's got to work for me. And you know what? There may come a time or an opportunity where if somebody sees this work, it still works for the public. I mean, when somebody sees it, it it's got everything going for it. The only difference is, art is changing drastically, and I think as drastic as it is, as digital as it is, or electronic as it is, or whatever the difference is, this kind of art, paint on canvas, will always be around.
yeah, no doubt about it. But I had an encounter with some very influential, well-known figure that came to my studio, and really real time, real moment, real observation, real encounters, uh, real interactions. And in this time in the studio, I realized that this figure in front of me, yeah, well, he expressed, things. He was impressed, and he asked the right questions, and I was really enjoying his questions because it telegraphed me that I'm standing in front of the real deal. But the main thing, hear me out, man. The main thing that he was pointing out in an after the fact in an email that he sent to my friend that he was that invited him to my studio and made it possible. So he said here are six galleries in Florida that he can explore, and you can help him explore, and you can mention my name and this and that, and my friend bothered to add that he was very, very taken and very impressed by the traffic in my studio, meaning how many paintings I paint. It's not like he wants to make a point that has nothing to do with quality because he already placed his opinion. He said, I like what I see. So he doesn't feel like he has to say more than that. But then he says, I also taken and impressed by what I see, what's going on here. So that means I had someone who was really compatible with understanding what's happening in my studio. Not only by subject matters, oh, these wonderful series with the colors, I like this and the shapes and all that. It's just, wait a second, but it's 40 paintings there. It's a pile of 40 paintings resting on one on top of the other, just so casually. And then just a moment before that, it was 25 other paintings, full size, full body of work. And then at the beginning, there were a whole series of 50 paintings, and everything is solid, is meaningful, is you know what I mean? So now he allowed me to take a long pause without feeling guilty that I'm doing that.
Right.
Because I wanted to enjoy, and in order to enjoy this encounter, I had to let go and maybe put on hold certain things that I do, reduce the amount of action and all this. Because usually I don't do that. I'm always scared that I'm going to come back and will not find what I left.
Well, look, there's always the fear. If you don't have the fear that you're going to lose the ability to paint, you're not an artist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just instinctive, intuitive. There isn't a time where I've taken off 6 months or 3 months or whatever it is, or a year, that when I put that canvas up on the wall and I put my paints out, that I look at the canvas and the first thought I have is, do I still know how to paint? And, until the brush literally hits the canvas, that question is there. And then all of a sudden, look, we all have our own ways. For me, I don't believe, and this is just part of my process, I don't believe that I'm really even in the room when I start painting. I watch my hand. I have a photograph that Lenore took that is my absolute all-time favorite photograph of myself painting with my cat on my shoulder, who had her paw on the brush for 2 hours. We painted together. And she just sat there, and Lenore took the photograph. It's my all-time favorite photograph. Because, was she painting? Yeah. Was I painting? Yeah. Were we both in the room? Nope.
It's weird and rewarding at the same token. But
I have no concept when I'm painting, whether it's a landscape or an abstract or the primitives, of being present in that room. My mind is just gone someplace else. And I'm always amazed when I stop and I put the brush back in the container with the water in it, and I sit down and I look at it. I'm always amazed at what just happened. And I'm literally astounded at how I got the right color, the right lines, everything, because I'm just not there. And that's happened to me since I was 6 years old. And all throughout my life, I've always felt that way. I don't believe in something channeling through me or anything like that. Whatever the creative process is that's inside of me has its own way of getting out. Things just happen to the art that I'm not even aware of. And I just sit down and I look at it and kind of amazed.
All I want to say,
what's happening with the painting going on now.
Yeah. all I want to do is share with you right now in the last 3 minutes that we have of the show is that, when I first started in 97, people enjoyed approaching me and through their interpretation of not standing the fact that I can create so much work, good or bad, doesn't matter, and just put it on display, curate it myself, have a nice wine gathering and whatever talk and all this, and make it sound like no big deal, okay? And then they would approach me and tell me all about the wrongs that involved in rushing it and making too many paintings. And that whole idea of the word "too," T-O-O, I mean, T-O, bothered me. It's like what I felt like. I felt like I want to say. It bothers me. What are you saying? Well, don't you have anything better to say? I mean, don't you want to take a little time to yourself to think about what you're about to say?
That's your process of working. Okay.
No. You and I know that. But wait. I'm not even talking about it. I'm not trying to make the case here to the public that's listening to us. I'm just saying, I wanted to say, what is it with you, man? Why, out of all the things in the world, out of all the sensations, out of all the whatever statements, you chose to come and tell me what's wrong about my ability to explode and to show every 3-4 months to show a full body of work and what the heck. So then you realize, okay, at first you want to say in more ways than one. You say, hey, listen, well, what about is there anything else you want to share with me in addition to that? Now I'm definitely not there. I'm not. Yes, it bothers me that they are missing out on something really beautiful. Not that it's my work. It's the feeling that will form within them that is solid, that can make them feel good and maybe cause them to find themselves doing things that are very constructive and very wonderful. But I gave that up. I gave that up because I cannot be in charge of how people feel. And if they feel the way they feel, I am convinced now that no matter what I do, at least no matter what I say, they will change that. But definitely what I do, but
you're missing one really important part in the process of creating it.
We have 1 minute, so
what they think.
No,
that's my attitude.
No, the thing.
Everybody
No. I care. I care about them.
When I show something, and especially in abstract, and people go, "Well, what did you mean?" My answer is, "Well, what do you think it means?"
Yes, and I have to stop you once again and say that I wanted to examine my how I feel about things and to have this hands-on attitude in order to bring to life exhibitions, and I managed to do that, and I'm holding on to it for many years now, for 2 decades, literally holding on to it because I feel like if I'm gonna let go even for a second, I will definitely lose some substantial collection of things that I really slaved for, and I need to give it a little more respect than just thinking that I'm going to let go and everything will be there, even if I'll get back to it 5 minutes later. I wanted to say also that I love you as a friend, as an artist, as a comrade, as a mentor, and I don't know how much of it you deserve, but
I deserve all of it and more.
Okay, let me just say we're going to be here tomorrow as much as we were here yesterday and as much as we're here this afternoon. October 4th, year 2024, here with the Hello Hello Show, and on the phone with me, Steve Ram. I hate to say, I can't even tell you, I'll give you the last word, but I will.
Call me after the show.
Okay, I will. But again, thank you.
Hello to everybody out there.
I will, and thank you for your friendship and for being in my life the way you are, and just
vice versa.
And ease off on the abuse.
Hey, if you can't take it, get out of town.
Yeah, I know. Get out of town. Here we go. Much love to you, Steve.
Same to you.
All the best, and send my best to Lenore. Okay.
I will.
Okay. Bye bye.